Live.
All right, we're live. How about that? Hey, if y'all were behind the scenes just a second ago, you know we almost won. How's everybody doing? I'm Jeremy Langwell coming to you from Houmas House Estate and Gardens. We're so happy to be back. I'll just quickly kind of catch everybody up there. We've been gone the last 2 weeks because Hurricane Ida had came through, and again, we want to reach out to everybody in our area, our extended Houmas House family who might have been affected by Hurricane Ida. I sure hope everybody is doing well out there. As far as us here at Houmas House proper, we're absolutely fine. It did take us about 10 or 11 days to get the power back on, but we were finally able to get the power back on, got the house cleaned up. We made it through the storm very well. No major damage to the house or any trees or anything like that on the property. So we're just happy to be back and everything's kind of getting back to normal for us over here in Louisiana. But we're definitely thinking about anybody who might have been affected in the area as well. And also thank you. We had so many people reach out to us wishing us well wishes and all that. We received all of them and are truly grateful. But us here and our staff as well, we're all fine. With that said, man, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just so happy to be back here cooking. And the dish I'm doing today is New Orleans style barbecue shrimp. Now, if you're not familiar with this dish, it's kind of interesting. The name might even throw you off because when most people think barbecue, they think throwing something on the grill, they think of a nice barbecue sauce. Although you don't necessarily have to have barbecue sauce for barbecue, just throw that out there. But it is definitely not the style that we think of when we think of barbecue shrimp. Barbecue shrimp, we actually don't know why it was named barbecue shrimp, but this dish originated in the 1950s at the restaurant in New Orleans, Pascal Manali's, and it was actually a gentleman who was a frequent person who would go to the restaurant, had just come from Chicago and was talking to the chef about this shrimp dish that he had eaten, which had like this lemon garlic butter sauce, and the chef recreated it, kept it on the menu, and it just kind of take off from there. So we're not exactly sure why it's called barbecue shrimp, but that's what we're going to be preparing today. And before I even get started, to anybody who's ever had barbecue shrimp or made barbecue shrimp themselves at home or anywhere, they're like a lot of dishes, especially, say for example, gumbo. There's 1,000 different recipes for gumbo. There's 1,000 different recipes for barbecue shrimp. I've selected this recipe because it is extremely simple, guys. Absolutely simple. So let's just jump right in and get to it. Now, before I actually start the barbecue shrimp, I like serving barbecue shrimp with a little bit of roasted garlic. So I figured I'd show you how, this is like a condiment that we're going to spread on our French bread that we're going to serve with that barbecue shrimp. So I figured I'd show you how we make the roasted garlic as well, because that's really easy. We take a whole clove of garlic. Now you got the root in, and then you got the top. Now we cut off the top, and we leave the root in, and that's going to keep everything from falling apart. And get that out of here, and it keeps the whole garlic together. And I'm putting a couple of heads of garlic on a sheet of aluminum foil. I'm going to come back with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to come back with a little seasoning. I'm not. And then we're going to wrap this in a pouch and put it in an oven, 400 degrees, for about 45 minutes. And whenever that's cooked up, you get this beautiful, let it cool. Be careful when you open up your aluminum foil pouch, you get a little bit of steam come out of it. But you get this beautiful roasted garlic heads that now, you can just kind of squeeze the outside of it, and these cloves of garlic will come out, and it makes a great spread on French bread, just that beautiful, mellowed out, delicious garlicky flavor, which is going to be absolutely perfect marinated with this dish. Now let's go ahead and, again, watch how simple this is. So the first thing we're going to start off with is I got some absolutely beautiful shrimp right out of the Gulf of Mexico. Now you have some decisions to make before we get started, because we're actually going to do these barbecue shrimp in the oven. Oftentimes they're done in a skillet, but again, I'm going to show y'all this is a great simple recipe, easy to prepare for a night at home or for a big group of people. You just get more shrimp, but really simple. So classically, you would just take your whole shrimp. Some people might pop off the heads. I love, anytime I'm cooking shrimp, if I can leave the head on, I often do. because I find there's so much fat and richness in the head that infuses the shrimp itself when they cook, and it really elevates the flavor. But some people, you know, somebody dainty like Jessie, she probably will take the head off because she's like, oh my God, it's looking at me. But we're not worried about that because we're all about the flavor. But preference. Then you just go, again, if you want to make it easy, go ahead and just put the whole shrimp on there. One thing I like to do, so I'm going half and half, I like to actually take the shrimp, I peel the body off. It gives me a chance to be able to devein it, because, you know, we want to get rid of that little vein right there. We all know what that is. So we just want to get that little vein out. I like to devein my shrimp, leave the head on so I get the flavor, leave the tail on, and then cook them that way. And also it just makes it so much easier when you go to dig into them. You don't have to fight peeling that shell with all that sauce on it and get it all over your fingers. But some people love that. You go to the world famous Mr. B's restaurant in the French Quarter, and they come and they bring you your barbecue shrimp, and they actually give you a bib to go at it as well. But I'll let you make that decision at home, whether you're doing it whole shrimp or peeled shrimp, your choice. So we got them, just your final dish that you can kind of put them in. You don't want to stack them too high, but any casserole pan, roasting pan that you can put the shrimp in, like I have here, just load them with those good shrimp, and now you're good to go. We're just going to make this sauce that we're going to pour over it, this basting sauce. So let's go ahead and just make that real quick. Just take some white wine, whatever you might happen to be drinking that night, or just some that you have. We're just going to put about half a cup of white wine, like always. Our recipes are found on our website, houmashouse.com. But all barbecued shrimp, whether there's different variations, are always going to have wine. They're always going to have garlic. So this is some sliced garlic. I like using sliced garlic as opposed to minced garlic because it's kind of nice and roast up into this. We'll give you those nice big chunks of garlic when we go to dig in. You're always going to have a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to put some dashes of Worcestershire sauce on there. A little bit of hot sauce. Give it a little spice, as much as you like. I'm a wimp, so if I put a little bit in there, if you like it spicier, put a couple more dashes. This here is Creole seasoning. Now, if you don't have Creole seasoning, salt, pepper, granulated garlic, a little paprika, a little bit of onion powder, all that would be fantastic. But just a little bit of Creole seasoning, that's going to season them up perfectly. I got some diced fresh thyme, so I'm going to get that herb in there. So that goes in. And I have here, I went to the store, whether you find them, this is just something I picked up right at our local grocery store, but I got some bay leaves. So I'm going to put a couple bay leaves in there. This is going to steep and add a great depth of flavor to your sauce. These beautiful fresh bay leaves are great, but if you have dry bay leaves, all the same, we're going to get those in there. And that is going to be our sauce base. We're not 100% done, but again, just put all that in a bowl. I don't even need a spoon. And just kind of quickly mix that together. And now I'm going to come back to my shrimp, and I'm just going to pour that liquid all on top of it. Really kind of give it a little shake and get it all coated around. I've already set an oven to 400 degrees. And then before we pop it in the oven, I'm going to come here and I'm going to add butter pats. This is cold butter that's been cubed. And I'm just going to start to top these shrimp with this cubed up butter. Pretty generous, about 1/4 of a pound. Cubed up butter, and that's going to melt. While this cooks in the oven, it's going to melt and mix with that wine and garlic. And I also have some lemon slices. So I'm going to put some lemon slices there. This is going to perfume, and as I always say, anytime you're cooking seafood, you can never go wrong with lemon. It just goes perfectly with it. So let's just kind of recap here, guys, because again, this dish is this simple to make. You got your shrimp in a casserole dish. We made a mixture with white wine, Creole seasoning, some herbs, bay leaves, Worcestershire sauce, and some hot sauce and garlic. Pour them over the shrimp, and then we top them off with our butter and a little bit of sliced lemon. From there, we're going to pop that in our 400-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. The beautiful thing about cooking shrimp, here's some that I have here. The beautiful thing about cooking shrimp is whenever you're first starting to cook whatever is, nature itself tells you when the shrimp is good. Of course, you can overcook shrimp. They'll actually start to shrivel up and curl up too much. But you're just looking to when you can look at your pan and see that they've gotten that beautiful pink color and the tail is starting to curl, your shrimp are done. You don't see any more gray. Your shrimp are done, and they're going to be absolutely perfect. Now, we're going to be serving this tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, all day in our restaurant. We're actually going to serve it as an appetizer. We're going to serve it with some French bread, but also with some blue corn stone brown grits, which are going to be fantastic. But this is a dish that it's all about just kind of getting in there, digging in, and then serving it with some French bread to soak up all that sauce. So you can go onto a big platter or just individually. I'm just going to go right to a plate, and I'm just going to start loading them down with some of these great shrimp. Just get those on there. I even like to come back and put I love how these lemon slices kind of brulee up in the actual pan itself. But then it's not barbecue shrimp till you get all that good sauce that just kind of the pan creates it. So you got to make sure you don't dump this off. This is the gold right here that you want to really save whenever it comes out of the oven, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Put that there, and then of course you got to serve your barbecue shrimp with some French bread. That's going to sop up all that juice. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple slices of that French bread right on top. And there you have it. A very simple recipe for putting together New Orleans style barbecue shrimp. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and we will see you next week. You ready to dig into this, Jesse, or what?
I'm ready.